What's up, guys? We're here today at LEADJITSU's conference today with Dream to Lead, and I'm here with James Keys, former CEO of Blockbuster and 7-Eleven. James, I'm so excited to have an opportunity to listen to you speak today. What is your mission for today's speaking engagement?
Well, we're talking about dreams.
Yes.
So I am living the American dream. I am one of those kids that never should have been privileged to run a Fortune 500 company, but I had a chance to run two. And I credit it all basically to the power of knowledge. And well, there's two things, actually, faith and knowledge. Armed with faith and knowledge, you can do just about anything you want to do.
That's exciting. Faith and knowledge. When you think of dreams, when you think dream to lead, right? What are a couple of steps that you have to do, and right off the bat to get that ball moving?
Yeah, I've got an expression that I've kind of coined in the book. I've just released a book called Education is Freedom. And in that book, I talk about change a lot, and that the role of a CEO or the role of an individual in life is to deal with change. So the expression I coined is that CEO, the acronym, stands for Change Equals Opportunity.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Okay, so education, you go with education is freedom, right?
Education is freedom.
Could you specify what you mean by education?
Well, it's about lifelong learning, basically. The more you learn, the more you can do. Now, at the same time, I'm also a big proponent of formal education because whether we like it or not, whether we like our current system or not, we have the need for accreditation, if you will, accreditation, and we have the need to be able to, as someone who ran a company with 400,000 employees, how do you tell one employee from another when you're going to hire?
Right.
And so that formal education really is an important element of your personal form of differentiation.
Wow.
Now, even if you don't have it, it doesn't matter, because what counts most is what you know, how much you can learn. And today, I've been basically saying that I carry in my pocket a portal to unlimited learning.
Right.
So there's no excuse. There's absolutely no excuse for any of us today to not embrace lifelong learning.
That's beautiful. I'm a non-traditional student. Went to school, I think it was 28 and I finished my master's just in 2021. Was there a particular moment, a certain point in your life at a certain age you reached and you said, this is where you hit your stride?
No, I haven't hit my stride yet.
Oh, there you go. All right, I love it. Awesome, that's fantastic.
No, it's my path has not been traditional. My path has been more opportunistic. In that I didn't grow up thinking I want to be a CEO. I wanted to be an astronaut, and I kind of fell a little bit short of that mark, but I still fly today as a result of that desire to be in space. So I channeled it into aviation and I fly today. So it really doesn't matter what you want to do as long as you strive for a goal, and then you have the ability to pivot, and that's what was most important to me. Okay, my eyes aren't good enough to qualify for the astronaut corps. No problem. I'll redirect it and I'll get an MBA and I'll go into business.
Awesome. That's beautiful. That's like, I like the part about pivoting and being able to, you're a lifelong learner like myself. LEADJITSU, Rhonda Williams. What do you have to say about Rhonda's purpose and mission, her drive?
Well, I love what she's doing because basically she's inspiring. And 90% of what we're out there looking for is inspiration, and yet we're all vulnerable to fear, uncertainty, insecurity, all that crap that stands in our way. So Rhonda's just blowing through those walls of doubt and insecurity and helping people find inspiration to be able to grow.
Awesome.
It's a pretty simple formula, but it works, and I like the magic that she's applying to it.
Last question: do you do talks? Is that what you become motivational speaker or transformational leader, thought leader? However you would define yourself.
I've kind of become that by default. When you put a book out, you then get invited on television interviews and book tours, and so I've been out speaking a lot about the book. What I discovered, though, is I set out to write a book that would help young people. It's sort of the how to learn, what to learn, and why. And then as I get out on the speaking circuit, I realize that this applies to everybody, and especially given society where we are today, so many of our issues in society are based on fear. Someone's afraid that someone else is gonna take something from them, do something to them, hurt them in some way, tax them, whatever it is. It's all fear-based, and the antidote to fear is knowledge. So my book is very timely and relevant, particularly in an election season when we're getting a fire hose of fear from both sides.
Right.
And my message is to actually is an important point, to use perspective versus perception. Because perspective is when you step back. It's kind of like an artist looking at a piece of art or a painting, looking at perspective from a distance. Perception is when you just take something at face value and say, oh yeah, okay, that's true.
Right.
Very different.
It's interesting because we recently talked about, we have a 14-year-old at the house, and the difference between feelings and perception, and how they kind of get jumbled up together. What's the name of your book, and how can people go out there and get it?
Education is freedom. The future is in your hands. It's the subtitle, very relevant, because the future is in all of our hands, individually and collectively. And it's available on Amazon, BarnesandNoble.com, all of the online sites. You can find it online at educationisfreedombook.com or my website, jameswkeys.com.
James, it's a pleasure to meet you today. Are you Texas native, or
I am. I live right here in Dallas, Texas.
Oh, awesome!
Yeah.
Very good. Well, we'll look forward to hearing you speak today, and it's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for taking the time to do a sound bite with us today.
Happy to do it.
Awesome.
Look forward to.
All right, guys, we're here with Althea Williams. It's been a long time, sweetheart. It's so awesome to see you again with She Vets It.
Yes.
And you're here at the LEADJITSU Advanced Humanized Leadership Conference, Dream to Lead. What brings you to this event?
Oh, well, Rhonda, she's just very knowledgeable in leadership and transformational leadership, that is. So I definitely wanted to come. She had an amazing lineup of individuals that I was interested in hearing. So that's actually definitely what led me here.
Yeah, and you just got to listening to James speak with regards to perspective and CEO, and tell me what your takeaways from his time speaking today.
I really enjoyed the part of he talked about cultural literacy and the importance of cultural literacy, your ability to be open to learn from different cultures, different people from different backgrounds, and how it led to his success in being open to people that did not have the same background as him. And he didn't know that one day he would actually have to lead a company from a group of people that he met in London. So I really, really enjoyed that, just learning that the importance of cultural literacy and being open to people that don't look like us can lead to success.
So cultural literacy, and then culturally, how like we're both from different cultures, right? I'm Hispanic, you're African American, I'm assuming. Okay, so how important do you think does that contribute to an organization, your cultural background?
Well, one thing is we're in the United States.
Yeah.
And it's a melting pot of people of various backgrounds.
Right.
And when I served overseas and when I was in Afghanistan, I noticed that everyone that were American, they represented different cultural backgrounds, whether they're Hispanic, Asian, Black, Indian. We were Americans, we were wearing one uniform.
Right.
And so it is so important to know the people that we live next to and the people that we're serving the country for.
Yeah.
So I noticed in other countries everyone was of one particular race, but America, that's what makes us so unique. And so understanding the people, other citizens that may not look like us, they are Americans too, and that's why I think it's so important to understand cultural literacy, the importance of it.
Absolutely. Althea, talk about She Vets It. What do you got going on with She Vets It, and whatever else, every other amazing things. I know you're always part of always something amazing.
Oh yes, well, right now, as people may know, that She Vets It is a podcast series for women veterans. And so what I do is I bring women veterans on to share their stories about, transitioning out the military, but also I am working on a documentary. So moving it from the podcast
Wow.
also to the big screen so that women veterans have more opportunities, their voices could be heard on a wider screen.
That's amazing, man. We're in the big leagues now, Thea. Your vision, your dream it's growing, and it's the work that you put in. I always respect and admire the things
Thank
you
you.
do in the community. And as I mentioned to you before when we came in, is that I'm really looking forward to having you on my podcast, the Unfinished Business Podcast, a podcast for veterans pursuing new life missions. I've been thinking about it for about a couple of years,
Yes,
but I
I
get
know.
caught.
I understand.
There's people that are in front of the line. Is like, when am I going to get to Althea? So let's just try to make it happen. I would
Oh,
appreciate
yes,
that. It'd be
definitely,
great.
definitely. And thank you so much
Here's my
for what
card,
you're
just so
doing.
I have it. I mean, I don't know why I did that right now.
So there's proof that I have the card. So if it don't happen, that means because I didn't call.
I didn't call. No, it's great to see you, Althea.
Oh, good to
All right,
see
sister,
you. Thank
sister
you.
and brother, sister,
Sister
brothers
in
and
arms.
and
Yes,
I
yes.
value and appreciate you. I
Oh,
love you.
thank you so much.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Hey, what's up, guys? We're just wrapping up the speaking engagement with James Keys, first speaker of today's LEADJITSU's Dream to Lead. I'm here with Denise Johnson with Grow People for Impact.
Yes, thank you.
And you just got done hearing James speak about dreams and what was your takeaway of today?
Yeah, so James talked about a couple of pieces, change, clarity, and confidence. And he also talked about, fear being the opposite of confidence, and talked about a model that we could really think through that. So I think it's really plain, and it makes it plain and clear to think about how we can lead into confidence by running away from things that we imagine and things that we're fearful of. So it's really powerful.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Perception and reality. What were your thoughts about that conversation?
Yeah. So, perception and reality, and I'm going to take that to perspective. Really.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he talked about really enlarging your perspective so you can see people and the world more clearly. And one of the undertones that I got, Rush, was just leaning into humility, because we can't learn and go in the other direction of our fearfulness if we're not humble and reach out to other people.
Open hearts, open minds, right?
Absolutely, like that.
Denise, you're here to speak.
I am.
At the Dream to Lead.
I am.
What are you looking to instill in people today? What's your mission?
I am really looking to have people lean into courage, and understanding that courage is the driver to help them walk out their dreams.
Talk about your organization that you're part of.
Grow People for Impact is leadership development and team development consulting, executive coaching, and of course sharing those words in speaking. Yeah.
When you look at the coaching and leadership, what are some of the key things that you're saying that are habitually, not say maybe problematic or that people are struggling with?
Yeah. Something James talked about this morning, and I'll talk a bit this afternoon, is confidence. People struggle from, man, I'm lacking confidence. If I only had more confidence, and part of the secret, I'll give you a sneak peek.
Yeah, sneak peek.
Part of the secret is leaning into doing, so you can overcome that and build your confidence.
Awesome. If people want to get a hold of you, where can they reach out to you?
Absolutely. GrowPeopleForImpact.com.
Awesome. Denise, it's a pleasure to meet you today.
And
I
you,
look forward
Rush.
to getting some sound bites from people who get to hear you speak today.
Thank you.
And I'll be sharing those with you as well.
My pleasure.
Okay, nice to meet you. All right, guys, we're here with Michelle Baker, Chief Confidence Igniter, and with Michelle Enterprises, and you just got to hearing James Keys speak at the Dream to Lead LEADJITSU, hosted by Rhonda Williams.
Yes.
Talk to me a little bit about what your takeaways were for today's engagement.
Absolutely incredible. There was a question that was posed to him that I'll never forget, and it was that CEO is change equals opportunity. That was the theme. He really talked about how to embrace change and how knowledge and learning is the power that will take any change, and it will help your trajectory, it will empower your excellence, it will create opportunity, it opens doors, and that can only happen when you embrace the change and you learn why the change is happening, because it's always happening for you.
When you think of perspective, what and James talked a little bit about being, perspective, correct?
Yes.
Share a little bit about what you gathered from that.
Yes, what I gathered is that, like, for example, he gave the story of his upbringing, which was very adverse. So someone might hear that story and go, oh, that's so sad, that's awful. He loved that he had an early life of adversity because it gave him strength, it gave him courage, it gave him the perspective that anything was possible. Because he was raised with so little and it was taken away on many occasions, he had no fear of loss. And that was something that I really heard resonate. That perspective is that there's nothing that you can lose or will lose that you cannot replace or acquire again.
Speak to me a little bit about LEADJITSU, the Advanced Humanized Leadership Conference today, and Dream to Lead. Speak to a little bit about Rhonda Williams and her efforts.
Yeah, so I've had the pleasure of knowing Rhonda Williams. She's absolutely incredible and constantly and consistently looking at how she can empower leaders to lead this next generation, to help continue with innovation and encouragement and engagement, diversity, equity, inclusion. And that's what this is today, is really helping leaders to dream, right? To actually see that there's no problem people, there's only opportunity people.
That's beautiful. Opportunity people. I need to jot that down. I always see these reporters, they're at the desk and they grab a pen, they start taking notes. I'm like, that's why they do it, because there's so many. I always believe there's always these little golden nuggets that you take when you interview somebody. Michelle, talk to me a little bit about what you're doing here at the event. You're going to be speaking today?
Yes. So I'm going to be speaking alongside Rhonda, and she brought me in as the Chief Confidence Igniter. I have this incredible ability where I can translate and transform that perception of chaos into a practical and profitable confidence. It's what I do in my business. It's what I do for many, many stages around the world. And I get the opportunity to do that here, to really speak to what we are experiencing and how to translate that in something that you can actually take actionable steps on and incorporate and continue to integrate, so your identity and overall way of being changes.
That's beautiful. I have to say, just standing next to you, there's a confidence exuding from you, and it's kind of contagious too. So yes. I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm gonna take some of that. Put them both. I have two pockets on one side, and we're gonna. I have two here, so we got this. Michelle, my bell, Dougie Fresh, Get Fresh Crew. I just realized that I love that we're from that same generation, yes. That same type of music. Speaking of that, soulful engagement. How when you think of soulful, being soulful in your purpose and your cause, how important is that?
It's absolutely. I say it's that uniqueness. What I find when you hear speakers or when you hear presenters or when you hear leaders or influencers that make this impact, they have this ability to tap into the humanness of what another person is hearing. And I always say people are buy for emotional reasons and they justify with logic. So you think about it, when they're buying, we are constantly selling. My background is sales. You're selling yourself all day long. One of the things I tell people, if you have an argument with someone, you lost the sale, right? Your ability to communicate with someone and inspire and influence them to understand, not necessarily agree, to understand is everything. And that's what I love about why we're here today. I love about what I do, what I get to do with my clients and from the stages, is to help them hear a new way to embrace change, to be accountable and responsible, to go out and create something amazing for themselves, for the companies they work with, and for the legacy of who they are in their life, their families.
Michelle, nice to meet you. Thank you very much for taking the time to leave a soundbite, and we look forward to learning more about you, and maybe we can get you on one of our podcasts in the weeks and months to come.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for this opportunity. It was so fun to speak with you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Awesome. Hey, what's up, guys? We're here at Dream to Lead, hosted by Rhonda Williams, and I'm here with Raven with Your Social Fave. Talk to me a little bit about why Your Social Fave has partnered with Rhonda Williams and her mission.
So Rhonda is a dreamer, a believer. She's an incredible human being, and she is on a mission to bring humanized leadership to organizations across the globe. And as soon as we connected and she shared that vision, when I think anybody that talks to Rhonda and meets her, like they immediately are like, whatever it is you want to do, I'm there, you know? And so I just had to. And she radiates positivity and strength, and the fact that she actually recognizes that there needs to be a change in leadership and we need to empower leaders to actually start having fun and leading their dream life. That to me was like, okay, I'm in.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've had the privilege and honor to be able to share space with Rhonda and sit down and have a conversation with her and her story, where she was at in the medical field. When you look at your story with your program, right? Your social fave. What are the similarities in your organization and her journey?
I think the vision that we have that's similar is that with your social faves, it's about bringing authenticity to brands and businesses. It's about being honest and transparent and saying, this is realistically what we can truly do for you. We're not gonna do a smoke and mirrors. We're not gonna try to, fake our way to making you think that this is where you're at when you're really here. And I love that about Rhonda's organization as well, is because she's all about truthfulness, transparency, authenticity, being intentional. And those are values that we lack in a lot of businesses and services that we are provided. So I think that if you have people who are incorporating those values into everything they do, we're going to have better people all around us everywhere.
That's true. Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. What is your background as far as in social media space? Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, so I have been in the social. I've been since the days of MySpace and blogging, but I had always found like a passion and joy for connecting with people on social media, and I've loved videography, digital photography, graphic design. So I knew that there was a space for me somewhere in this world, and when I finally was like, I should just pursue my passion.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, I found my corner of the world. This is where I function and do well, and they say when you find your passion, like you'll never get bored with it, and it will never feel like you're working. And I finally can understand that feeling with social media. So it has been an absolute dream and joy to be able to work. I get to work with so many different clients. I get to pretend like I'm working, as a plastic surgeon or as an executive coach without having to really take on the role or the schooling to do it.
Yeah.
So it's awesome.
Without all the bureaucratic red tape you have to work through. So with her Dream to Lead today, the actual conference, how do you feel about being part of something that's really that's far-reaching, and it's a conference where thought leaders come together,
Yeah.
and not only that, people that want to become thought leaders or people that just need a different frame of reference to think better. How do you feel about your social faves being a part of something that big?
It's a dream. It's a dream come true. It's ironic that it's dream to lead, but yeah, it's a blessing, and I know it's just another stepping stone for us, because we're going to continue to do these things, and they're going to get bigger and bigger, and so we're excited to kind of see how it all unfolds.
I love, getting to know you better through this interview and just watching you engage. You often wonder with people that are in social media or for social programs, how engaged are they really, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like some people, they put some money in and then they don't get the return back. But what I've witnessed from you and Megan, you and Megan working together and collaborating and just getting into it and filming everything, it's been really great to watch y'all in action, getting in there, and I want you to know that, and it's really cool to see that you're, what they say, you help enough people get what they want, you'll get what you want in the process. Do you believe in that?
I do, and I think you're absolutely right. There's something, when you find somebody who sees the vision with you, and I'm a firm believer that there's power in relationship. Everything we do is in relationship to something or someone, and that's how we continue to grow. And so finding a business partner that sees the same vision and wants to do the same things as you is just, it's rare, but it's incredible. And I think that that's how corporations start, because you pair up with someone who's like, yeah, that's it. I get it.
Yeah.
And so it's like I said, it's phenomenal. So I'm just very just honored and thrilled to just be where I am right now.
That's awesome. You know what they say, you do things unintentionally intentional, and then you're partnering up with somebody like with Rhonda Williams, you know. So that's very cool. And the former CEO of 7-Eleven and Blockbuster. That's really insane.
Absolutely. It's been an honor. It's been an honor. I'm so excited to be here, and I'm excited to see how the rest of the day unfolds.
Awesome. Well, it's great to know you and get to meet you today, and I look forward to maybe collaborating on something down in the future.
Absolutely, we will. Thanks,
Awesome.
Raj. Have a great day.
Yes, thank you. What's up, guys? I'm here with Marquise Martin Hayes with El Grupo Noble, and we're sitting outside of the room. We're doing this interview real quick because I'm getting ready to leave in just a few minutes, and I want to make sure I get a soundbite from you. Yes. We're here at the LEADJITSU conference of Dream to Lead.
Yes.
And Marquise, you've had the honor and pleasure to hear several speakers today.
Yes.
Started with James Keys and then Denise Johnson.
Yes.
And who's currently speaking?
Susan Arnold.
Susan Arnold. Okay.
Yes.
And tell me first of all, why did you come to this event?
Well, I'm speaking at today's event as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're a speaker
That's
too.
the main reason why I flew in for this.
Yes.
But the idea that we all want to become leaders, and not really having a pathway to get there. If we look around the world right now, there's a lot of people in leadership positions. They're not leading. They're just in positions, and as a result of that, we have a lot of chaos. I am deeply interested and invested in those that want to lead, that we have conversations and dialogues to cultivate leadership versus it's do this, don't do that. And you're not present at all. And as a result, I mean, just look around. Leadership is not quite what we'd like for it to be.
Yeah. And what is the unique, in looking at the three leaders and yourself, and the other ones that are speaking today, because this thing goes till 6 tonight.
That's correct.
Okay, so what is one of the other commonalities that y'all share, like that you say, this is our jam, this is our, this is the same cloth we're cut out of.
Yes. One of those things, obviously, outside of having a dream and pursuing it, is the idea of courage. It takes courage to lead, to dream. It takes courage because, again, not having the real role model to teach you how to lead, it's a constant self-discovery. And self-discovery is not very easy. It takes courage to do that because it also means, like Dr. Susan's talking about right now, being open to feedback. And if you're not open to feedback and criticism and guidance or coaching, then it's going to be impossible for you to be successful or the way you imagined it in your mind's eye.
I had a counselor one time tell me, if someone calls you a horse, go buy yourself a bag of oats. And that was a teaching moment for me to say, go do what people are telling you to do so you can be successful. Do you agree with that?
I absolutely agree. As a matter of fact, I heard something similar. I think it was T. Harv Eker. He said, don't tell people what you do. Pay attention to what they say they get from you and then build them for it.
Nice. That's very cool.
And that's how I got started in what I do.
Okay, and El Grupo Noble, talk a little bit about that.
Excellent. So El Grupo Noble is my personal company, and what we do is consult. Consulting is a part of what we do. It's typically when I'm on the road, our goal is to stay noble. The work that we do is noble work. It's work that's designed for the human race. And anytime I'm talking, that's the baseline of what I'm talking about is how can we be better as humans, and that's what El Grupo Noble is all about.
When I read the sign, it says advancing humanized leadership.
Yes.
Could you break that down a little bit for me so I can understand, the viewers and myself can understand?
Absolutely. So we talk about advancing humanized leadership. When we slow it down, to be honest with you, I don't think most of us are human. But no, really what I mean by that is we're disconnected from ourselves.
Oh, okay.
And as a result, we're just doing the machine work of what we call leadership.
Oh,
or we're just putting people in line. As a matter of fact, Jim Keys talked about a guy that was a part of an organization. He was in the C-suite who had never understood how to read a balance sheet.
Wow.
How do you get there? That's not leadership. That's the system working. But when we take the time to connect with people with where they are and we empower the strengths that they have and then place them in leadership according to that, to me, that is advancing humanized leadership. Because now you're not expected to function in a role. You're expected to exceed in who you are, which gives us the capacity to fill in people with where they belong.
Wow.
And when that happens, things flow better.
It's like a little Rubik's Cube with only maybe 3 or 4 colors instead of whatever how many are on the thing.
Then they just go in certain spots.
Yeah, that's awesome. Let's talk about Rhonda Y. Williams, and who she is in your heart. Who do you see? Who do you believe her to be in your heart? And how she represents.
She's an incredible woman.
Yeah.
Rhonda Y. Williams, and her. First of all, once you meet her, the presence that she offers, the smile that she brings, is incredible.
Yeah.
But her heart and desire to help people know how to be effective. That's the whole advancing humanized leadership, right?
Yeah.
That's what LEADJITSU is all about. Taking certain steps and practicing them to cultivate who you are. And her, I believe it's 15 points. Because of those 15 points, it allows us to discover our weaknesses, but also strengthen those areas so that we shine when we get there. So it is my honor to come and serve alongside of her.
Absolutely.
Now and in the future.
Awesome. Today you'll be speaking.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about what you hope people take away from listening to you today.
Excellent. So today I hope they take away the reevaluation of who they really are. I'm very, very big on self-awareness.
Yeah.
And unfortunately right now, around 5% of people are self-aware. According to research, 10 to 15% have it, 5% live it. If only 5% live it, that means 95% of us, I used to say, are fake, phony, and just trying to figure it out. But the real truth is, we're not fake, we're not phony.
Yeah.
We're just hiding. We're hiding behind the corners, and we're putting out a representative instead of fully showing up. So I'm going to talk about the necessity of that in leadership so that we do the LEADJITSU work.
Yeah.
And actually start advancing humanized leadership.
One last question, and it reminded me of a book called "The Genius in Christ." Okay?
Okay.
And the book talks about how we all have a genius inside of us that's
Yes.
just trying to break
Yes.
out.
Yes.
Do you feel that way?
I absolutely do. I never read that book, and I don't remember a philosopher that I studied, but I do believe that we all have unique geniuses, and unfortunately, they're not equally highlighted. And as a result, we hide because we are not in a space that allows us to grow. So I absolutely believe in that.
Awesome. If people want to get a hold of you for consulting, where would
Absolutely.
they reach you
Several places. One, Instagram, social media is the easiest, obviously. The Marquise, TheMarquese, or YouTube. I've got a YouTube channel where I'm constantly sharing ideas and concepts. You can meet me there, or you can simply go to marquise.us, among other places to locate me. But I'm findable, as Deion Sanders would say.
I love that, right? That ain't hard to find, right?
I ain't hard to find.
I love
Marquise Martin Hayes. Just Google me. I'm not hard to find.
Marquise, it's a pleasure to get to know you and meet you
Thank
today.
you.
I wish I could stick around and stay a little longer to hear you speak. Unfortunately, I got somewhere I got to be. But I'm going to look you up and see if we
Thank
can
you.
get you on one of my podcasts and,
I would love
come
to.
out and talk about what you're passionate about.
Thank you for being here with us. I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Pleasure. Nice to meet you.
You
Mark.
too.
All right, guys, we're here at Dream to Leads conference here in Frisco, Texas, and I'm here with Raven Thomas and Megan Webster of the social media company. Could you remind me what the name of your company?
Your social faves.
Your social fave. It should be easy to remember, but maybe it's just so big and large that it doesn't fit in my brain as much. Fantastic. Fantastic. It looks like you guys have a fantastic speakers today. James Keys just got done speaking. Why don't each of y'all share a little piece of nugget that you've taken from his speaking today?
What I love about him is he never let adversity hold him back. And he reminds you that we all go through challenges and we all have experiences in our life that should hold us back, but it's a choice to overcome it, right? As soon as we choose to take on more knowledge and actually continue growing, that's when we start seeing success. He came from nothing and ended up becoming the CEO of 7-Eleven and Blockbuster.
Yeah.
And now he's doing incredible, amazing things, and he has a life that you would dream of, right?
Yeah.
It's so fitting for him to be here at the Dream to Lead conference because he truly is living and leading his dream life.
That's beautiful. And what about you, Megan?
I was going to say something very similar. It's like it's very much a choice. You can start from the bottom and make your way all the way to the top. It's just all in your actions, your choices, and what you believe in, whether it's yourself and your faith and overall.
He talked about CEO, and he broke it down in an acronym. What was that acronym?
So, yeah, this is my favorite thing that I've heard him say is CEO means change equals opportunity. And what I love about him is he is so fearless.
Yeah.
He is not afraid to move forward. He is not afraid to make changes and pivot and maneuver where he's supposed to be. And his success and everything, his accolades, shows that in real time.
Yeah. you both are leading the social media drive for this organization. Tell me a little bit about your organization and why you do what you do. We'll start with Megan, if you don't mind.
Yeah. Okay. So we do what we do just because we love this lifestyle. We love the fact that we're able to content capture things like this, like any type of conference or our social media clients. It's all about the way that we can capture the things that we are not trying to necessarily sell, but like sometimes the lifestyle and whatnot with
Sure.
social media management. So.
Yeah.
And Raymond?
So with us, I mean, we came together because we both have a passion for social media marketing and content creation, like she said. But really, we love the strategy. We love helping people. We know people don't want to be sold something, but they do want to buy it. They just want to buy the lifestyle behind it. They want to buy the dream behind it. And so what we do is we capture the essence, the visuals, the ethos, the values that a company, a client, a brand has. So that way we can show their target audience that lifestyle that they truly want.
Right. There's a saying is that people don't want to be created upon, they want to be part of the creative process. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Awesome. And I see that with you both engaging with what's going on with the speakers and what you guys are setting up, you girls are setting up here, and I love it. It's awesome. Respect. We're like, hey, we're respect here. We're taking care of our business. If people want to get a hold of you, how can they get a hold of you?
So they can just follow us at Your Social Faves on Instagram, on TikTok. That's our Gmail. So super easy. And once you start following that, you'll know how to get in contact with either one of us.
Awesome. I have a podcast called Next Level Thinkers, or Charting New Horizons of Brilliance
I follow
podcast.
you.
I would love for y'all to be on it, and we'll talk about strategies and why it's important to be engaged socially on various platforms, and which platforms y'all really enjoy.
Let's do it.
Okay,
Awesome.
love y'all.
Thank you
Nice
so
to meet
much,
y'all.
Rush.
Okay,
Nice
and
to meet you
yep.
too.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, awesome.